And it looks like, oh, my microphone. Now I have a microphone. And it looks like I'm live. Man, I was terrible just now. I didn't have a microphone. My head got cut off. Look at how big I am. I'm way centered in the screen, and my hair actually pokes above my green screen. How's it going, everybody? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I try to make these not crappy. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I was just sitting here thinking, what am I going to talk about? I thought, I'm going to talk about how our government done failed us. Or maybe they didn't fail us. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe you are dyed in the blue and blue dyed to the... I don't know what that means. Maybe you are dyed in the wool, blue blooded, and you love Sisolak, and you can tell me that below. What's up, big dog? How's it going, everybody? Lauren is here. HD Anthony is here. Margarita Gonzalez is here. Raymond Torres is here. Try to say the words properly with my Spanish pronunciation, and it sucks, and I'm not pandering to you. When I was in the Philippines once, I was trying to speak Tagalog, and I realized I was trying to pronounce the words properly, and then my wife said, see, now you know why news anchors in the United States always speak in a perfect English accent, and then when they say Hispanic words, they say them a certain way. It's called respect. Sue Sinclair is here. Cincinnati Kid. Jerry McLean. Oh my God, Linda Perryman. Linda, I didn't know if I should show it on the camera, Linda Perryman, but thank you so much. My wife was blown away. She thought you were sending me us a blank one that she'd have to do, and she's like, I feel so bad, I don't have time for this. But she definitely loves it, and if it's okay with you, Linda, I'll share it on the channel, but you got to reach out to me on the Facebooks or the Twitter feeds or the something or others. I have no idea. Wow, I got 91 in the chat already. It's getting hot in here tonight, guys. Our government done failed us. Between Carolyn Goodman freaking out and between Steve Sisolak not knowing what he's doing, our government's done failed Las Vegas. I'm not talking on a political level. I'm just talking about a leadership level. Not very fun. Debbie is here. Debbie, I started counting my macros today. I'm doing flexible dieting. If it fits your macros, eat it. But that's not really true. You're supposed to eat healthy, nutritious foods as well. Let me turn my phone on to vibrate or silent mode so we are not interrupted in the middle of all this. And on a related note, I bought a Quest pizza today because it was cheap, and I hope it doesn't taste like cardboard. I call Sisolak a moron, but that would be a promotion. Oh, look at Socks on a Duck. He's a funny, funny guy. Angel is watching. Cool. Joseph is in the house ordering 2 more masks. Wow, thank you so much, Joseph Drake. Wow, I appreciate it. If Joseph is referring to VegasFaceMask.com, everybody in the chat already knows what this is because you guys have all bought them and now we don't have any more orders. So share this with somebody if you guys like that. That would help out the channel a great deal. This is my wife's gig and she makes them and they're awesome and they're funky co Medinas. What is Quest? HD Anthony says. Quest is a nutrition food company that makes fantastic bars that taste great. They taste almost like candy bars, but they're generally low carbohydrate, high fiber, and high protein, and so they're a good food. I have to join a gym. I don't know when I'm going to find the time between what I do here and everything else. It's really tough. I don't know how I'm going to find the time, but I'll figure it out. 3 times a week lifting heavy things, I can figure it out. Is it chicken crusted? I wasn't aware it was chicken crusted pizza. I could have gotten the broccoli pizza, but I can make my own pizza out of broccoli, cauliflower. I've done it before. So here we go. Chicken crusted pizza, both places, tablet and phone. What is this? Okay, so guess what? I'm watching Yellow Productions right now. I had to go on a live stream, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to stream over him, but he's doing a live stream on latest Vegas news, rumors, and gossip. So I literally am in both channels. So if you're over there, I say, good work. I'll post an exclamation point in his chat. I think I've licked my problem with the internet. I literally had to just do the old-fashioned 1995 thing where you unplug your modem and re-plug it in. So we are good to go tonight. Quest is the name of a tribe called Quest. Oh, boom! CJ's daddy is funny with the references from the 90s. Really, your mask orders have gone down? Oh, absolutely, Matthew. But that's okay. I mean, I do the videos. I'm going to be doing some more videos. Hopefully we get a new audience for that. Hello, Steve. I wish I could give you some pozole. William Garcia. Is that an Italian thing? Or your last name is Garcia, so is it a Mexican food? I don't know what it is. Pozole. It sounds like a Polish food. Pozole, get it? I'm part Polish, so I can make the jokes. No, that's not how that works, Steven. Shut up. Authentic Mexican pozole. Pozole is a traditional soup or stew from Mexican cuisine. It is made from hominy with meat and can be seasoned or garnished with shredded lettuce or cabbage. Ooh, that sounds good, man. That sounds good stuff. Oh, Raymond Torres knows what that is. So yeah, so I just don't know if our leadership is doing a good job. Let's chat about that. Let's chat about Vegas stuff. Ask me a Vegas question. I'll give you a very Vegas-y answer. The answer will be resort fees to every single question. No, I'm just kidding. How can the mask orders go down? Best mask there is. I know, Susan, but here's the thing. I used to do these live streams. I used to have 30 or 40 new subscribers. Sometimes I have none. I have this incredible base of people. I mean, I don't know how I have 284 people on Patreon right now. 284 people on Patreon. I just gotta. I'm in like the 2% of Patreon people, because Patreon is usually never successful for people. And then I have my Facebook group, and then I have this, and I only ever wanted to do this as a community thing. And I appreciate you guys being here. So it's been a weird journey, I'm telling you right now. Unfortunately, after talking and emailing with MGM about masks, we had to cancel both our reservations. Ashley says, ooh, not good. When is it safe to return to Vegas? Stephen Beal says, I don't know, you just got to get some of that Rusky vaccine. They're calling it Sputnik 5. It's the stupidest thing in the world. That's a bad idea. Don't take a vaccine that hasn't been tested in a stage 3 trial, man. And I realized today, so waiting for my mask order, Eyeglass Lady, very nice. Make pizza using Italian sausage as crust. Ordering more masks next payday. Make an Italian sausage. That actually is a really good pizza recipe you can make. It involves using Philadelphia or any cream cheese, but Philadelphia cream cheese is probably the best known brand out there. It involves that plus mozzarella cheese as the crust, and oh my god, it's so good. But it's really ketogenic pizza. Hey Steve, do you know when Park MGM will open? No idea, Earl from Florida. Some people are saying that they're never going to open. I think it will open when the tourism picks up. I think that a lot of that has to do with stimulus money. I know that a lot of YouTubers I've talked to have said the best months they ever had were right when the stimulus came, because everybody was very generous to them in their chats. And so I know that Vegas is also going to see a bleed over of all that. And I hope there's not a lot of background noise. I'm very not on the ball today. I'm drinking my Powerade, no caffeine in this, no sugar. Yeah, I think it's I have my fans on, that's why I say that. So I hope that it happens maybe if the stimulus comes and people have $1,200 checks to throw around. But then again, people are getting a little bit more brazen about living with this thing, because we know we can't stop our lives, I guess. How's my evening doing, John? I'm doing well, thank you so much. Fathead Pizza, thank you so much. Susan knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's a good recipe. You're gonna make your own recipe. I will make it at some point in the future. Maybe I'll go full low carb, but that's impossible to do because my wife cooks such good food for me, and there's no way in the world that I want to tell her no to her food. So I'm just going to be flexible. Whoa, Donna Masadi, thank you so much, Donna, with the black cat action. A bit of background static in the audio, probably. Like I say, I have my fan going and my air conditioner in this room, and it's an in-room air conditioner. Sorry guys, I can turn it off, but inevitably what will happen is my camera will overheat. These kinds of cameras are not really meant to be used this way as a webcam, essentially. Unless I have $300 and a lot of patience, I can't get a better camera. The only webcam that would work in my situation is a $300 Logitech camera. Ugh, so expensive, but so good. And I wish I could get one, but there's like a months long worth of waiting lists. You so smart. Well, thank you, Vitally Blake. I appreciate it. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. To quote, which author was that? Was that Dickens? It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Worst of times. Worst of times. Blurst of times. It was A Tale of Two Cities. I was right. Was that Charles Dickens? Yes, exactly. Boom, I nailed it without Googling it. Then I Googled it to make sure. Stimulus does stimulate the economy. I'm not a Mark Cuban fan. I think he says a lot of stupid things, but one thing he said that was good was he said, I would give out $1,200 stimuluses every month. Just make people accountable to spending them. Make it so they can't get cash for them and squirrel it away. And if they spend them on goods and services in the economy, it'll filter back to the economy with it, which means Las Vegas. So we've been on for almost 9 minutes, and I haven't even talked about it, but I think our government has failed us. I think let's look at Steve Sisolak first. My question for you. What is your opinion on Governor Steve Sisolak? Stephen Q. Curly Q. Sisolak. What is his middle name? Steve Sisolak's middle name. I got 2 monitors. I can do the technology. I can make it happen. Stephen F. Sisolak. Oh, look at that. It's actually Stephen with a PH. Whew, thank God. I thought he shared my name. Robert Jimenez, greetings from Seattle. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate you very much. I had a weird... So, Governor Steve Sisolak. What the hell is his middle name? We don't know his middle name? He's a government official. How can we not know this? So stimulus stimulated my bank account. Boom. Yeah, but if you were forced to spend it in the economy, money needs to flow to and fro and needs to ebb and flow. Money sitting on a desk does nothing. Money going to the store does something for you in the store, and then it transfers into the economy. So it doesn't say what his middle name is, but his political career. Let's talk about Sisolak for a minute, okay? He was a governor of Nevada, obviously, from 2019 to right now. So quite the first year in office, Steve. Talk about baptism by fire, my friend. He was elected by a large margin in terms of politics, 49.4% over Adam Laxalt, 45.3%. He's the Democratic governor of the entire state. And, he in the primary, he actually won it even bigger. He won over I can never say her name. What is Chris Gunicanacoli. I don't know. It's an Italian name, I think, and I can't pronounce those right, and I don't want to dishonor all the Italianos out there because they'll say, "What are you doing?" Oh my God, cancel me! I just made an ethnic joke, but don't get mad, okay? Please don't cancel me. Please don't cancel me. He won that 51.8 to 40.3, so he won pretty bigly. Bigly? That's not a word. That's a Trump word. What the hell am I saying that word for? Why is it in my head? It's because I'm looking at politics, my friends. In 2016, he was actually a Clark County commissioner. So that's his experience. I was a county commissioner. I helped bring the Raiders to Las Vegas. I helped fund a stadium, make me the governor. Along the way, he had some scandals. He had a GoFundMe that he did for the shooting victims of the October 1st incident. And I said shooting, so now this video is not monetized. Thanks a lot, Mr. Campbell and YouTube. You're dumb. But so he apparently, according to some sources, this is unsubstantiated rumor territory, like Vital Vegas, our friend, would say, he apparently didn't give that money, or he did it as a publicity stunt. I don't know. I thought they got their funds, but maybe they didn't. I didn't follow the money trail. Now he is the governor of the state of Nevada. Congratulations, Steve. You had one heck of a first year, as I already mentioned. Well, with that, he's done an okay job. I hate to say it, I hate to say it because you guys think my politics, but he has done a bad job in a lot of ways and a good job in a lot of ways in the end. Now, I wish he had taken his good job that he did at the end and did it at the beginning, but he couldn't do those things. So overall, though, I have to say he didn't do a great job overall. He did an okay job overall. See, I like to say this. When people attack the president, I say, what other leader would do just as well? And so I have to look at the other side of the fence and look at all the state governors like Sisolak and say, well, I mean, if I'm going to make a defense for the president because it's a horrible virus that nobody ever experienced anything like this ever before, except for a couple of times in the past, so we totally have experienced this before, but never on the modern scale with airline travel and with people being more mobile and traveling a lot more. We've never experienced it. So if I were to make defense for the president and say, of course, what do you expect? Then what am I going to do on the Democrat side? I'm going to say, what do you expect him to do? He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know all the information, but he sure was quick to shut us all down. And I don't know if that was the right choice. I don't know if the right choice was shutting us down for a whopping 78 days. We would probably be in the exact same scenario. So in terms of how he presented his information and his data and his information, he did a very bad job. His first press conference was a mess. I did a review of it. I made like a little blooper reel with circus music in the background because it was terrible. Hey, Steve, Yellow Productions is live, I think. Look, yes, I'm in his chat right now. It's him in the corner, and he's got the Rio up there and the Gold Coast, it looks like. So I'm watching him, too. I'm in that chat right now. I have two monitors going on. So he didn't present data or information very well. He did a very bad job at it. And in my opinion, he didn't have the right people around him possibly, or he decided that he wanted to be like Governor Cuomo out in New York. But then again, Governor Cuomo represents like 30 million people. You represent 3 at the most, maybe 3.5, maybe. Possibly. So you don't have to be Governor Cuomo. You could have just done pre-recorded things. It didn't have to be all complicated. You could have had them submit questions. It was annoying. It was hard to listen to. And then you didn't know what the phases were going to be. Steve Sisolak didn't know what the phases in Nevada were going to be. He had no clue at any given moment. He was completely clueless. When asked if we're in phase 1, he was like, possibly, I don't know, maybe. How many phases are there? I don't know. He never knew anything. They didn't have a comprehensive plan. My Powerade is sticking to my water. How dare you? So not having a comprehensive plan is really bad. People look to leadership. They look to the leaders of the world. When you don't have any leadership, you're just flying blindly and nobody knew it was going to happen. Then we get to the government's Dieter, not Dieter's world like Wayne Campbell. Not Dieter's world like Mike Myers did on Saturday Night Live, but the development or the Department of Employment, something or else, and training in something else. Dieter, it's our unemployment system. Complete mess, complete garbage, complete you-know-what show, dumpster fire, still hasn't been fixed. So in terms of that, I guess maybe I can't say that Steve Sisolak did very well overall, come to think of it, as I talk into this microphone and look at my camera as much as I can and not be distracted by this little thing in my hand. But he didn't do a very good job on all that. So I guess I would have to give him a D or a C. Maybe he passes, but just barely. Now, what he did do in the end that was good. And the good thing in the end was he said, let's get rid of the phases altogether and stop phasing things in. Let's try to contact trace this down to zip codes. But then again, even that doesn't make sense. I mean, for example, right, there was an article about 2 stores at a shopping mall. Which shopping mall was it? I don't recall. It was the Miracle Mile shops that were closed down. I think it was the Miracle Mile shops. They were closed down, or Fashion Show, one of the 2 malls on the strip. It was closed down for not having compliance. So it wasn't closed down, it was cited. An $8,000 fine each was cited. And then in the article, the government had come out and saying is that they're going to close them down and check on them again for compliance if they do it again. And I'm going, you see where you lost me there? How are you going to check compliance if the store is closed? Chicken, egg. One comes before the other one. You know, you can't have a chicken without an egg, but you can't have an egg without a chicken. Well, in this case, that's a stupid statement. Other stupid statements that the government has made, you know, have been closing the bars and then doing the thing where we say we're not doing phases anymore. And so if we're not doing phases anymore, we're just contact tracing and looking at zip codes. Meanwhile, they say the bars are closed. But he says, why would we close something when in one sector of the economy if there's another thing in the other sector of the economy that's obviously the problem? Well, the bars weren't the problem. And you can't contact trace the bars now to see if they were the problem because you closed the bars. And by doing so, you've eliminated a massive carrot and stick, or reward and punishment. You've closed down a massive incentive for people to come to Las Vegas and a massive part of our local economy. Look, people will buy their booze, man. They'll buy their alcohol. They're gonna go to a bar first and have some, real life with their friends if they can. And they might socially distance and the music might be potted down a little bit lower, but the Golden Knights are coming back up and we might want to watch a hockey game for God's sakes. And God forbid this goes on into September and we can't watch the Raiders at a bar. Wouldn't that be an experience? No. You can't watch the Raiders in real life. You can't watch the Raiders in a bar. Where can you watch them? On TV, maybe, possibly, if you're lucky enough, or you pay NFL and DirecTV for crap that you don't want to pay for. So we're taking away people's ability to be human because we want to do it in the name of science. But at the same time, there's no way to tell if that's the problem. So I give him a C. You guys thought at the beginning of this I was going to be all nice to Sisolak, and you're going to be calling me, you're going to say, Steven, your Trump derangement syndrome is showing. And I'm going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I'll say some things about other people, and then they'll say, you're a MAGA hat wearing son of a gun. And I'll be like, dude, I said the same video has 2 polarizing opinions, so you're going to take what you want out of that. But I'm saying he did the best with the circumstances he could have, I guess. Okay, Carolyn Goodman, the Right Honorable do they call him that in this country? The Right Honorable? That's what they call him in Canada. So if you're in government, they call you the Right Honorable. So Carolyn Goodman, I'm going to look up her history right now if you guys want to see that. You guys want to know about Carolyn Goodman? And we talk about her and see what she's all about. Let's read some comments right now. Say yes if you want to know about Carolyn Goodman. That's one of our other major leaders. I'm only going to look at the 2. I don't know who the mayor of Reno is. I think his name is Bill Reno. He lives on Reno Lane in Reno, Nevada. That's not true. Let's see here. Eggshells are porous, however, there's a protective layer deposited around the shell. Yes, and guess what? Birds pip. They have an extra tooth in their beak that falls off after they get born. Thousands of protesters is okay, but Applebee's is the problem. Ooh, Eddie. Man, you're getting a little bit dicey there. Watch out, Eddie. Don't tell those truths. People will be highly offended by you. You got a troll and a sunny side up? Man, probably. Bars were a problem in California, not Las Vegas. I wonder why that would be, Tamara. That's interesting. The Review Journal calls him King Sisolak. Oh, I mean, yeah, the Review Journal is slanted. The Las Vegas Sun, they're the more left-leaning newspaper. Most cities have 2 daily newspapers. One goes this way, one goes that way. The primary purpose of the White House office Trump shut down to set up a FEMA nationwide exercise. Here we go with the FEMA camps. Everybody, there's a conspiracy. It's called a FEMA camp. They closed the bars because alcohol kills germs and gym keeps you in shape. Well, the gyms aren't closed here. Thankfully, I have to join a gym. Somebody says, no, we don't want to know about Carolyn Goodman. All right, well, we won't talk about Carolyn Goodman. We won't talk about Anderson Cooper. We won't talk about the flip-outs and the freak-outs. How's that? We won't talk about politics and the leaders of this city because what does it matter to you? Oh, yeah, it matters matters everything to you, because if they're in charge and they're doing the wrong things, you could shut us down again, don't you know? Okay, so we want to know about Carolyn Goodman. I'm looking at Blvd. If you guys don't know, you can find everything on ballotopedia.com. It's like Wikipedia, but it's for politics. All right, so Goodman holds an MS. She holds multiple sclerosis. I don't know what MS means. I know it means MS means horrible disease that my friend's mother has. Masters of Science in Counseling from the University of Nevada. Counseling. She's a counselor. There you go. So she knows how to deal with people's problems. Her professional experience includes working as a vocational counselor in West Las Vegas for the Department of Labor. She founded a school called the Meadows School, a nonprofit college, preparatory school in Las Vegas for pre-kindergarten through pre-K through 12. All right. So she has been involved in a few elections. Okay, 2011, the general election for the mayor of Las Vegas. She defeated Chris Gillicuddy. I said it right. Boom. By the way, Chris Gillicuddy, I said it wrong again. It's not Gillicuddy. She went on to try to run against Steve Sisolak, you notice, in the primaries. So these people stay in Nevada politics. So, hey, Chris, you couldn't make it as the mayor of Las Vegas. Why don't you move up to the big leagues and try to be the governor? Put on your big girl clothes and go be the governor. And she couldn't do that either. So she actually resoundingly beat Chris. I mean, it was like not even close, 60.5% to 39.5%. Kind of ridiculous. But I should note there was only 54,705 votes cast. Because remember that thing where we said that Carolyn Goodman doesn't really govern all that many people? So, yeah, she doesn't really govern all that many people. 54,705 votes. Just in case. Thank you, Martin D. You are super nice. I appreciate you, Martin D. So in 2015, she runs again as the incumbent, and she wins 54%. And she has Stavros Anthony, who is now the mayor pro forma, pro tourum. He's the guy right now that would be mayor if Carolyn Goodman couldn't be mayor. She wins against him 42%. We have Phil LOL Corey. That's another guy. Who is Phil LOL Corey? Laugh out loud Corey. This can't be a real candidate. Was this a trick candidate? Ballotopedia? Yeah, I guess so. He was an actual candidate in that election, which is funny. And a guy named Abdul H. Shabazz, who got 0.9% of the vote, but says more than me. I've never been on a mayoral ballot in Las Vegas. So in 2019, she had a lot of people running against her. So she went from one challenger to three challengers to no less than 6 challengers. She won with 83% of the vote in the primary mayor for Las Vegas vote. Primary mayor. So they didn't even have a vote because she won 83% of it. In the city of Las Vegas in the state of Nevada, if you win enough in a primary, you don't have to have an actual election. They just bypass the election. So 83% of the vote. Phil Collins, I swear to God, that's his name. Phil Collins was a guy that ran against her. Next up, he had 5.3%, and the vote was split all the way down with other people that don't really matter because nobody knows who they are. One guy literally has his Facebook profile as his Ballotopedia photo. So, mayor of Las Vegas, what did she do for everybody? Well, a lot of people will say that she did nothing. Nothing at all. She was useless. But that's not necessarily true. She did some nice things for some people. I heard a story at the magazine. I was calling somebody in Henderson that got shut down by the governor because she sold health food, but not enough like actual organic food that wasn't prepared, and they shut her down. And then Mayor Goodman stepped in and did some nice things like that. But she was also the one that was banging her hand on the desk, saying, "You got to open up Las Vegas." Dave Beatty, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What did Sunny Side Up say that was so bad? He said, stop being a denier. I watched that video so many times. I still can't believe the President of the United States would say something so insane. Well, Sunny Side Up wants to get ultra political. Guys, get a little political. Don't get ultra political or else you get timed out. And that's fun. 5 minutes later, Sunny Side will be up and say it all over again and then get kicked out of the chat because people never learn. Sometimes they learn. So she was banging her hand on the desk, screaming at the governor, saying, I don't know what kind of science he has. What kind of science do you have? I have scientists. Show me your science. It was like some weird challenge. And then, of course, we shut down. She went on Anderson Cooper, told everybody after a really bad interview for her. Now, let's get something straight here, okay? If I talk to somebody, Trump derangement syndrome much. If I talk to somebody, I have been speaking to people, not everybody, there's people that would bury me. I've been speaking to people for 15, 16 years professionally, okay? I get to the point where I know what people are going to say when I'm doing my job more than they know what they're going to say. So I know what's going to happen. If I say this, they're probably going to say that. How am I going to come back with that? That's what a guy like Anderson Cooper does. Anderson Cooper backs people into a corner. I did this video. It's on my channel, but it's on my Patreon because y'all can't see it because I got such bad feedback the next day. The day after, I said this exact thing. I said, Anderson Cooper backed our mayor up into a corner. She is not a crazy person, but she was completely unprepared. Look, if Joe Biden and Donald Trump get on a stage, they're going to hand Joe Biden a bunch of notes and say, this is what Trump's going to say about your past and about these things you're going to talk about, possibly about the economy, coronavirus, everything. This is how Trump's going to attack you. And Trump has a list of things, and they're going to say, this is what Biden's going to attack you on. And so you always know what is going to be said in an interview, best prepared. They don't know because Anderson Cooper's not going to tell Carolyn Goodman what he's going to say, but her people have a responsibility to hand her some notes and say, Mrs. Mayor, the Right Honorable, this is probably what they're going to say to you. Here's how you want to reply to those things. Stephen, thank you for making my night. Thank you, Susan. You are awesome. Wow. So she came completely woefully unprepared. Anderson Cooper, who has done really tough interviews with tough bad guys in the past, who has tens of thousands of hours of experience doing those kinds of interviews, basically did what Mayweather does. You ever watch Floyd Mayweather fight? If you guys watch boxing, if it's a bad analogy if you don't watch boxing, but here's the deal. A good fighter boxes you into a corner and basically learns everything you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then they time you out, and then when they know about what you're all about, they go in for the kill. And that's what Anderson Cooper did. He went in for the kill. He had her saying all sorts of things, trying to make excuses. He didn't talk over her like some of these politicians do when they're grilling people in the Congress and Senate hearings. No, he let her hang herself. He said, here's your rope. What do you want to do with it? You want to crawl out of the pit? You want to hang yourself? And she hung herself. And she said, yes, Anderson, we should use I'm okay. Use Las Vegas as a petri dish. Well, it was always going to be used as a petri dish. That should have been her reply, but it wasn't. I ordered 2 masks, cowgirl and orchids pink blooms. Send anything pink. Yumiko, I will look for your name if that is your name that you go by on the order, and I will look for that order, and you are the girl dog. I imagine you're a girl because I think Yumiko is a Japanese name and it might be feminine. So yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do, and that's what she did, and then she went radio silent. There was an effort to recall her. Let's get rid of Mayor Goodman. Let's get rid of her. That never went anywhere. It was actually basically it just washed away, and they wouldn't have even needed that many votes. I mean, you think about it this way. You wouldn't need that many votes. You know, in that primary that she won there was only how many votes cast? 26,723 votes were cast in that entire primary. Nobody cared about it. So they needed a small percentage, and they probably could have done a recall, but it might not have been effective. But between the two, Carolyn Goodman versus Sisolak, it's so hard to grade them. I gave Sisolak a C, maybe a C minus, but at the same time, oh, I'm right, Yumiko says. Cool, look at me. I know some Japanese culture stuff. I am happy about that. That is good. And so at the end of the day, you got to give them, I give her, I hate to say it, I give her an F. I give Mayor Carolyn Goodman an F. Are you guys hating on me right now? Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Like the video if you guys like the video. If you guys like videos about Las Vegas, like the video, helps the channel grow. I give her an F. And the reason why is because she didn't do anything except for basically showboat. She came out there with her peacock feathers all big. I know that's it's a male peacock thing. Don't hold that against me. She came out there with her peacock feathers and she peacocked around. And at the end of the day, she didn't do anything. She helped a few small businesses, but she didn't reach out to the governor and say, how can we formulate a plan that the casinos can work with? And she didn't reach out across the aisle. She's an independent, by the way, so there was no aisle to reach out across. She did nothing. She just sat there and yelled and then looked stupid on Anderson Cooper and then disappeared for a while. You know, she could have said anything she wanted, basically. She is term limited. She can't run again, so she's going to finish the rest of her term. Hopefully she does something effective, and so far, no good, unfortunately. So you get an F. Sisolak, he had way more on his plate, and at least he's been accountable to talk to the people, if not give answers. So give him a C minus. I give Carolyn an F, and that's away, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Governor had his marching orders. Ooh, from who, David? From who? From the machine. How did you so smart? Life, school, books? I don't have much education, Brent, whatsoever. As a matter of fact, if I told you guys my education level, you would laugh at me and you would stop watching me entirely. I read a lot. I read a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, and I try to read both sides of the aisle. And I've always had, my parents were reading to me when I was just a little bitty baby, and I always read at a young age, but I had problems with spelling, and like a friend. If you fry a friend, it'll be the end. That's how my mom taught me how to spell the word friend, because I couldn't ever figure out Friend. I was always saying Friend, but my parents took an active role, and yeah, I don't know. Blackjack, what are you doing, baby? Do you want to drink Powerade? No. All right, so there we go. I'm glad you're drinking Powerade. It has vitamins, unlike Gatorade. Yeah, Gatorade and Powerade are both an equal scam, and some people have emailed me stuff saying why I shouldn't drink Powerade either, because it's somehow bad for you. Stop clawing my Quicksilver shirt. I like this shirt. I use it for live streaming because it's not see-through on the green screen, dude. He vlogs and knows stuff. Yes, I'm like, what's his name? Off of Game of Thrones. I vlog and I know stuff. Will everyone cheer for Blackjack? Yeah, give me a thumbs up for the cat, dude. Look at that. Oh my god, so big. Oh my god, you're so big. You're probably getting your head cut off by the camera right now because my green screen technology is woefully bad. Anyways, there he is. Steven, do you have a photographic memory? Oh no, Jacobson. Oh, stop it. David, oh, my shirt. Okay, I love him, but he gets antsy. No, I don't. I have a really poor memory, as a matter of fact. Like today, I was looking at a contract for a client, and my boss is the owner of the company. Boss. I'm 1099. I have no boss, but he's a really good mentor to me. How is your car? Do you want a Ford Pinto? I'll take a Ford Pinto. My car's check engine light came on again. I got to go back to the shop tomorrow. They're a very good shop, and I mean, you never know, right? Like somebody texted me, cars are a lot like people. Sometimes you find one problem and you find more, I guess. I don't know. But no, I had a contract in my hand, and I put it down, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. And I'm like, it was just in front of me. What the living heck? But when I read things, I take in a lot of the information, and I do read a lot of Wikipedia. I read a lot of websites. I read a lot of things. The internet used to be a lot better before it was all opinionated, but it is what it is. My favorite part of the whole COVID thing is watching the governor on TV to find out how many of our freedoms have been removed. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry about that. Jeffrey says to buy a code reader on Amazon. Yeah, I used to have a code reader. I bought one for like $15 and it got lost in my move or something like that. It's pretty cool. It's probably just a sensor, David. It's not driving any differently. Not at all. You need a car that can do a burnout. Yeah, I was up on the Planet Hollywood roof. So here's a story about why you should never go up to the Planet Hollywood roof or any rooftop in Las Vegas and park up there. You know, you might think that you're getting, a cool view from up there, which you probably are. But I was up there and there was a couple of other cars up there and you could see the burnout circles on the top. And I'm like, ooh, that's why. And I've seen some horror stories of people that have parked at the top of parking garages and they come back and their car is all smashed up. And nobody knows what happens. And the cameras they're not going to give you the camera data. We don't care about that stuff. Yellow Productions has a picture of the Mojave Desert. Or it's not the Mojave, it's the Sahara. Man, I don't have as much stuffed animals as that guy. Steven does a wonderful job. Thank you, Mark. Use black tape to cover up the check engine light. Boom, there you go. Ford Pinto was a rolling bomb. Yeah, that was one of the first times that Joseph Lieberman ever became a public figure. Joseph Lieberman was, if you don't know who Joseph Lieberman is, he's an American politician. I think he's still around. I don't know. Was it Joseph Lieberman? I think it might be Ford Pinto. I'm going to look that up so I can fact check myself. Yeah, so Joe Lieberman, it was not him. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody, and you can tell me in the comments below. It wasn't him. It was another person who you guys would actually recognize. He sat in front of Congress and he called out the problems with the Ford Pinto, which is that there was no firewall or there was a problem with the gas tank. So if anybody got rear-ended, it was basically a ticking time bomb. And Ford knew about this problem. This is how bad corporate companies can be. You think it's bad with resort fees? How about this take on things? The company that made the car knew this was a problem. So they did that thing that you heard about in Fight Club. This is likely where the Fight Club story comes from. And it's a better book than it is a movie, so you should read the book Fight Club by Chuck Kowalczyk. It's a great book. Yumiko DeBold says, if you want to sell more masks, just show your wife in the background making them like you did yesterday. That's why I ordered them. Whoa, Yumiko. I would like to do that. Ralph Nader, Jerry, you are my man, dog. Or Larry, Jerry. I have a Jerry and a Larry in my life, and they both have very similar icons. Larry's the man, dog. Thank you. It was Ralph Nader. So Ford knew that there was a problem. Thank you, Miko, 380 times, by the way. Ford knew there was a problem with the Pinto. If you ever watch the Fight Club movie, they talk about how, my job is to do mathematics for insurance companies. And if there's more of a lawsuit that needs to be paid out if we recall the product or if somebody loses their life, if it's a bigger recall versus life, we just pay out the life insurance or from the company versus recall the product. Ford knew that. And that's why they didn't recall the Pinto, because they said that the amount of vehicles on the road versus the risk versus how much they would have to pay out for a wrongful death lawsuit, they didn't recall it. And so Ralph Nader, thank you so much on Ralph Nader. Yep, Ralph Nader, American politician. I don't know if he's still in office or if he's doing anything. He's probably just, I don't know, he's an activist. I think he was a politician at a point. He stood up in front of the Senate hearing, not Congress, and he exposed Ford, and it was a big deal. So, you guys asking me how I know stuff. I know stuff because there's podcasts, and I used to not work as hard as I do now. So I used to listen to a lot of podcasts. Now I listen to a lot of Audible, although I wish I had more credits on Audible every month. And so I drive, and if you guys are in your car, you're basically in a giant learning machine. Just get an Audible, get a podcast. I listen to one called Business Wars, and one called American Storytellers, and one called American Scandal. And in American Scandal, they actually followed all of these types of scandals. They also talked about Volkswagen and their cheating on the diesels and stuff like that. We're a walking dollar bill to big business. Good times, I guess. Well, Mark, you've always been. Ralph Nader is an American activist. He is 86 years old. He is from Winsted, Connecticut. And yes, so he's actually still kicking and he's alive. Ralph Nader is noted for his involvement in consumer protection, environmentalism, and government reform. Two of Nader's most notable targets were Chevy Corvair and the Ford Pinto. As mentioned in the channel, somebody mentioned the Corvair as well. Car that I never even heard of. It was a few years before my time, I'm sure. I had a recall on my RAV4 years ago where the computer was going bad because they released something where in high heat conditions the silicon would come off of capacitors which hold charges, and it would cause the harsh shift in the engine. Toyota never told me about this when I called the shop. Went to the Philippines, came back and found out the government forced a recall. They fixed it for free. But big companies, especially automotive companies, not your best friends. I'm just going to say that. Car, I'm lucky to be in my car once a week these days. Doc No 27. Yeah, I have to drive to work. It's like 8.5 miles from my house each way, so I do have time for stuff. Nader ran for president. Ralph Nader ran for president. Man, we would have a third party in this country if people just realized that they don't need to be such tribalism against one another, So yeah, so when did Ralph Nader run for president, Steven? Well, he ran for president in 1972, 1992, 1996, the year 2000, the year 2004, and the year 2008. So some people make fun of Joe Biden for running 3 times for president. This man ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times for president. And they claim that in 2000 he was the reason why Al Gore lost the presidency, because they said that he split the vote. I used to own a Corsair. It was my first car. Very nice, Larry. Very good. I wish there would be a way that the $1,200 stimulus could not be gambled. Pipe dream. Well, Howard, yeah, I understand. Until the government invents some kind of crypto and takes over all of our lives, I don't think that's going to happen. You know stuff because it's your conversation. You talk about what you know. All right, guys, that's true. Some people could throw out a random topic. I could talk about it, but we're talking about Vegas stuff the best we can. We were just talking about Vegas politicians. If you guys are just joining us right here on the channel, we did a whole little brief history on Steve Sisolak, a brief history on Carolyn Goodman. We talked about their histories, their backgrounds, and how they performed. I ranked Steve Sisolak. I started off saying he did a good job. Then I changed my own mind in my own conversation and said he didn't probably do a great job at all. I give him a C-. I give Carolyn Goodman an F. I didn't think she was great. You can't walk 8 miles in Vegas summer? What a wussy. Yeah, I'm a wuss. You're right. I actually did walk 8 miles in Vegas summer one day. I did. It was no fun. A few weeks ago. You look at some of my videos, I had peeling skin. I got some bad sunburn. I don't know if Ralph is related to Jerry or if that's a joke. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know what you can do with that government money? You could fence that government money if they make you buy stuff. You just buy stuff and then flip it on eBay. No, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. It's hard to invest in crypto when 99.999% of the people who mentioned are social media are scammers. Whoa, Carmen just got off listening to you. Nice. You just got off work and you're listening to me. Very nice. Jerry Nadler. There you go. Not Jerry Nader. See, somebody knows their stuff. Goodman is an old drunk like her husband. Very comical, though. Well, I don't know about that, John. That's not nice to say. But, Oscar Goodman did some great things for the city. We can owe those Golden Knights to Oscar Goodman. He actually did so much to bring sports to Vegas. He got it into the red zone, and then his wife kicked it over or punched it over past the actual. Well, my football analogies are terrible. I haven't watched football since the Super Bowl, and I'm not watching it this year, my friends. Carmen, thank us. Yes, thank you so much, Carmen. That is very nice of you. I appreciate it. I think I saw that walk to the South Point. That was a long walk. That was probably about 5 or 6 miles, but it was at nighttime, so it's not the same. Not the walk I was talking about. I walk from Mandalay Bay to Mirage every visit. Great fun, Steve says. Wow, you are a trooper and not a video blogger. There's a blogger called Trooper 97. You're right, they pushed football too. Yeah, they did push. They did, and Steve Sisolak pushed football. I forgot to mention that. He's a county commissioner during that time, and county commissioners are the ones that vote on big projects in Las Vegas, and he pushed the heck for that. Now he can't even watch it open up with fans. Uh-oh. I hope that's what Carmen meant, but I'm not convinced. My engine light keeps coming on. They changed my O2 sensors, said it needs a catalytic converter. Expensive, not gonna do it. Too expensive buying a new car when I get settled, the new home in Vegas. Yeah, you need to have your car be able to be smogged in Clark County. All of Vegas is in Clark County, so if you can't get your car smogged, you're done for. If you live in California, it might be a little bit different. And there are exceptions out here if you have what they call a classic vehicle, which is a vehicle made way back a long time ago, which you probably don't have, Stephanie. And congratulations on your relocation to Las Vegas. And the Flyers won tonight. Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing about the Flyers. Best team in hockey right now. They're all the best team until you're the Tampa Bay Lightning and you lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets in round 1 last year. Okay, what is Halloween like? Go Flyers, go. Go Flyers, go. Okay, I want to see him win. The Broad Street Bullies, you guys are awesome. Oscar hated Obama for telling people to stay away from Las Vegas. A lot of people didn't like what Obama did. You guys want to hear that story? You guys want to hear that story about Obama in Las Vegas? I'm just going to tell the facts, just the facts, ma'am. How do I have 421 viewers here and only 183 likes? That'd be nice to get some more likes if you guys want to do that. People have signed off professional sports in their drama. That's true. If you guys want to hear about the Obama Goodman story, if you're not familiar, you can say yes in the comments below, and I will tell you a little bit about that. Islanders won. Go Islanders, go, man. All these old school teams are doing really, really well. Flyers, Islanders. Who else is doing well that's an old school team? Well, that's just about it, actually. Everybody else is a newer team. Just the facts, man. We got yes. So, I mean, I'm not an expert and well-versed in this story, but basically what happened was during the 2008 economic crisis and meltdown, Obama did what presidents do. They go and they give, they address people in a press conference, and they take questions from the audience. And what Obama did was he said a quote about Las Vegas. Let me see if I can bring up that quote. Obama Vegas quote. And it made people a lot of people mad. This is on the Telegraph UK, so I'm not reading a biased source, although I'm sure they're biased. He said, quote, you don't go buying a boat when you can barely pay your mortgage. You don't blow a bunch of cash on Vegas when you're trying to save for college. You prioritize. You make tough choices. That's what he said. That's my Obama voice. Never done that voice before in public, but that's what he said. You don't go buying a boat when you can barely pay your mortgage. You don't blow a bunch of cash on Vegas when you're trying to save for college. You prioritize. You make good choices. Susan, thanks so much. Wow, Susan, yes, hit the like button for me, guys. So that was my Obama voice. And that's what he said. And oh boy, howdy, did it ever cause a lot of corporations who wanted to get government bailout money to cancel their Vegas upcoming events. So the difference between 2008 and 2009 right now. Well, in 2008, everything was open. You could still go to a nightclub, even though it might not be that bad. But yeah, so what happened? It might not be that good at the nightclub in 2008. Maybe there would be less people here if we had a professional sporting event, like we didn't have professional sports, but we had sports come through, like college football. And so when he said that, a lot of companies that wanted to get government bailout money because they were coming out with the stimulus plan for these big companies, they canceled their Vegas events, pulled money out of the economy, large chunks of money out of the economy. The LVCVA was like on overdrive, and they looked to Oscar Goodman to try to get Obama to recant it on national TV live. He never did. And to this point, to this day, Oscar Goodman, I don't think, has ever really forgiven Obama for that. And they were supposed to meet, and I know some other things in a backstory that I can't talk about. But that's what he said, and that's why Oscar Goodman has a problem with him. Maybe even to this day, they're not big fans. Now, Oscar Goodman was a registered Democrat for most of his life, and then when they all switched to mayor, they seem to all be independents on the mayoral ticket for whatever reason. And so now he's an independent, but we know he's from Philadelphia. We know he's a Democrat because that's how he was before he was, the mayoral candidate version of himself. So, yes, Obama does have a presidential library being built. I don't know it's for sure in Chicago. I think it is in Chicago for sure. If you have $30 for groceries, don't buy a brisket. Be frugal. This is true, but the companies had already appropriated this money to come to Las Vegas and do their conventions. So it wasn't like they were just sending everybody to Vegas for a glitzy, glamorous old time. A lot of these companies had paid for these years in advance. So to cancel those conventions took hundreds of millions of dollars out of the local economy. Now, shortly thereafter, the city posted a shortfall in the 2009, I believe it was, of like $170 million. They furloughed a bunch of people. These are all things that are preventable if business is just floating through. And Tamara, all presidents after they are out of the office have a presidential library, all of them. So Obama has one, and Clinton, I think the Clinton library, they all have a library. I mean, Nixon, Reagan, they all have libraries, so no big deal. Something's gone awry in the world when Jeff Goldblum starts live streaming about Vegas. Jeff Goldblum is live streaming about Vegas, or are you talking about me? I don't think I look like Jeff Goldblum or sound like him, but maybe I do. Vegas is entertainment, just like NFL, NBA, concerts, etc. It has become that way. It has. I did a video on that today where I talked about it. I didn't even get to see the video. I didn't get to watch it with you guys. I completely missed it because I was doing something. Public pays for those conferences with business deductions. Yeah, possibly, Jim. That's a good point. The Trump Library will be made out of solid gold, Jeffrey. Like it's building here. Maybe they'll just turn the Trump Tower into a Trump library. Companies will return. Vegas conventions draw a very large crowd, more so than New York, LA, or elsewhere. There you go. So that was just the facts. I didn't get political. I just told you everybody's aspects and what happened. Sometimes truth comes with consequences. Yes, this is true. Is Luxor really sinking into the ground? I don't think so. And the reason I don't believe that rumor about Luxor sinking into the ground is because when they were digging out the Raiders Stadium, they actually had to take bedrock out of the ground, boulders that they couldn't even get rid of. They had to remove a bunch of rocks. And so the Raiders is very close to the Luxor. So if it's sitting on solid rock, how is it sinking into the ground again? We're not in Southern California or Utah where these things can happen generally. Everything is built slab on grade type construction. That building has a lot of foundation, and I don't think it's sinking, but it could be. And they're never going to tell you. I'm never going to tell you. Obama also trained... No, we're not saying that comment. Just the facts, Jack. Yes, there's the facts. Vegas is still the entertainment capital of the world. It is. I mean, we have more entertainment here than New York City or LA does right now. This is really the last stand for entertainment in America. We are basically all there is right now. We have a long time before we get Trump's library, Kevin D says. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's not going to happen. For a very long time. He'll be out of office, everything will settle down, hopefully, and he'll build it with his own money or his donors' money. It's not like this comes from government funds, I don't believe, so I don't think that's what it is. But, it is what it is, guys. What was deleted by Tamara that was so bad with Ross? Oh, yeah, that thing about, bank groups. We don't want to talk about government conspiracies and things like that, guys. That just makes people's heads hurt and rot. Whoa, Rick! Damn, son, this is the second time in a row. 38 days to Vegas. If the Mirage opens, Aria would be a good substitute if Mirage stays closed, is what you meant to say. Yes, I agree. Aria would be great. I might get up to a room tour if I can make time to go up to the Aria. That would be fun, too. A person who gets a library has to be able to read. Oh, Melanie, badum ching. His library will be huge. That's funny. Okay, folks, get off the political crap. This is a Vegas chat. Well, I'm talking about our government failing Las Vegas, but we're not talking about the current people in the state, in a national level. We're talking about the state and the city level, which we already talked about. So that's a good thing. But you know what? Let's just do this right now. We're going to go to the lvrj.com and see if there's any headlines so we can definitely get off the train that we don't want to go down. There is one thing. A Las Vegas sewer, wow, that's horrible. A Las Vegas lawyer is suing China because he can't go to Raiders games this year. How do you like that? Las Vegas lawyer sues China over fan-free Raiders games. What do you guys think about that? That's ridiculous stuff, isn't it? There was a lady of the night who stole $90,000 cash from a tourist in Las Vegas. The victim told detectives he was headed to Arizona to buy a house when he was stopped in Las Vegas on July 4th, and he decided to have a good old time, and he got robbed of all the cash he was bringing for a down payment. Who does that kind of thing? Who does that kind of thing? When you're buying a house, even if you're buying it quote-unquote cash, who doesn't have a cashier's check? Who brings $90,000 cash? I don't understand that at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. A tour of Area 15 would be great, Steve. I might contact them. I have to contact them about my wife's paper flower business anyways. Is Vegas crazy around Halloween? Absolutely it is, although I don't know about Halloween this time. I think Halloween for the kiddies might be canceled. I recall thinking yesterday when I'm in the grocery store, who's going to buy all this candy? People aren't going to be trick-or-treating. It's going to be redunculous. Sad part, I cannot mention I'm going to Vegas because my work is so liberal, even though I'm working from home. Your work is liberal, but I don't know why that would preclude you from coming to Vegas. We have a lot of people from both political sides that come to Las Vegas. Let's see here. Mark Deems says, just like how China has banned certain politicians from visiting China, that's just political posturing. They banned some people in the Trump administration from going to China, banned them from going in. It happens all the time. It has something to do with some kind of budget that they passed, and it's way above my head. But I'd have to research it, and I'm not going to do that. The house was $180,000. He wanted to double it. Oh, no. So, yeah. Do you see gaming revenues in Las Vegas increasing the rest of the year? Oh, yes. I would say, David, I would have to see, for every tourist coming in through the door in Las Vegas, it is an increase. Gaming going up on a slow, not that hockey stick that we all hope for, but a slow curve. We're going to have a slow recovery in Las Vegas, but slow recovery is good too. If Caesars closes buffets in the resorts, will all casinos follow, Tyson? I don't think so. You're always going to have your independents who want to have buffets, but I think without buffets, Las Vegas, a part of Vegas dies, which is terrible. Golden Gate downtown is $5 craps. Well, we finally know the answer to that. Hit the dollar next to your name, John. Oh, okay. Somebody wants to super chat. This is very nice of you. Yeah, you hit the dollar, and then during the chat, it'll ask you for credit card information. I did it a few times with a couple of bloggers that I watch. It's cool. You get a receipt the next day from Google, and you're like, what the hell? And then you forget that you did that. Let's see here. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at these stars. Oscar Wilde. That's a great quote. Las Vegas Valley under excessive heat warning. Okay, that's not really a Vegas news that you guys care about unless you're coming here until Friday of the weekend. And they opened up the new Target on the Strip. You remember that Target store I would walk past all the time and I'd say, oh, it's not open yet. And people would say, it's open. And I'd say, no, it's definitely not open. There's the silk screen all over the windows. You can't see in. They finally opened that. That opens on, I think, the 16th or something like that. It's, they announced that Target store in 2018, and they replaced the Smith & Wollensky's Steakhouse with it. Smith & Wollensky's has reopened at the Venetian, I believe. Smith & Wollensky's is good. I've eaten there before. Have you ever visited the Artisan Hotel? It's spectacular lately, and the place is unreal. Yeah, I never visited the Artisan Hotel. I'm sure it's a nice hotel. They film a lot of, well, we're all adults here, right? You guys want to hear what they do at the Artisan Hotel? Do you guys want to know what the Artisan Hotel is known for? John Rogers found it. Thanks for the show. Well, thank you, John. You are awesome. Thank John 475 times. Type yes if you want to know the naughty things they do at the Artisan Hotel. My God, nobody knows this stuff. Nobody knows this stuff. Good, because we need things that make Las Vegas, Las Vegas. Interesting, yes. Vegas has 38 days to cool down. Rick doesn't handle 105 very well. You will be fine. Yes, yes, yes. Guys, they film adult movies at the Artisan Hotel. There are billboards on the 15 with a picture of the Artisan, and it says, rent our whole hotel for $8,000, which is called a buyout. I learned it today. It's called a buyout. I was talking to my boss, not about that. We're talking about, covers of magazines and restaurants. And he said, what you do is it's called a buyout. When you buy out something, you're the only people that are able to use it. So, if, the CEO of, or if Jeff Bezos came here and he wanted to go to Carmine's, he would buy out the restaurant. Buying out a restaurant in Vegas costs you $80,000 to $100,000. That's what it costs for just you to have a private restaurant experience where you're the only people in the entire place. John Ness, thank you so much, John. That is very nice of you. Artisan is tamer than you know. I know Artisan. That's cool. I'm glad it's tamer. They still have billboards on the side of the road that says, buy out our hotel for $8,000. It's a nice property. I've seen pictures of it. It looks beautiful. It's good. It's good. They still film adult movies there. So you guys can digest that if you stay there and you like it. And if that changes your opinion on the property, that's between you and your moral code, and I'm cool with that. The problem with seasonal things like candy, it's ordered 9 months in advance. Yes, Howard, that's true. I mean, the same thing happens in the ad world where you have ad placements, and a lot of companies, they'll do their media buys in January. And they spend an entire years of advertising in January. Lance landing tonight. My God, thank you for the flying apricot or pine. What is that thing? I don't know what it is, but Google has some neat little emojis and little stickers. Thank you, Knight's Landing tonight. That's very nice of you. Once the borders open up to non-essential travel, there will be a flood of Canucks coming into Canada. They'll be like, "Oh, good day, eh? Where's my Molsons? We can't get it up here." Oh, I'm racist. I'm Canadian, by the way. Canada's not a race. What am I saying? Go to Artisan on a weekend night, and it's open to the public. Yes, it's great for private events. Steve, I love every hotel in Vegas. If you want to stay at the Artisan, you're in a pretty good place because you're not far away from the Boulder Station. You have a Chick-fil-A, and then there's one of those pizza place, Blaze Pizzas down there. You're not far from the Strip. It's a nice place. Nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to tell everybody what it is, and I have to think of things to talk about for 54 minutes straight without stopping. It's not easy. It's not easy sometimes. My God, beauty, eh? Hey, Lance is in the chat. How you doing, Lance Johns? Hi, John. Oh, Steve is saying hi to everybody. Got 505 people in the chat. This is pretty remarkable. Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. B-Dog. Steven from B-Dog. I don't know what B-Dog is. I have to Google B-Dog. So a man is suing China. He's suing the People's Republic of China. He's suing the city of the province of where it comes from. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You're just marketing yourself. That's what you're doing. It's a lawyer. And you know they're lawyering. They're lawyering up so you're not racist. Why would I be racist, man? I'll go ask my Asian wife if I'm racist. I don't know what to tell you. Any suggestions for sushi in Vegas, possibly off the Strip? I don't know the name of it, but if you go over... The Silverton is off the Strip, kind of. There's places at the Silverton. Chinatown has a lot of good little sushi places. You might just take a saunter down to Chinatown. Pawn Star is still open. I believe it's open to the public. Last time I heard it was opening to the public. I don't know, man. Steve D, I'm not sure. You just want to call Pawn Stars directly. I know that they're back on TV. They're filming, and they're the #1 show because they canceled Police 911 Live, or what it's called, Cops. Steve D made it, Martin D says. I got a lot of D's in the chat. D's. I'm not going to say what you guys in the gutter thinks I'm going to say about D's pens. But anyways, does the guy that serves the paper came back A-okay? Does the guy that served the paper come back A-okay? I don't know what you're asking, Mark. I'm so sorry. You need to do a vlog at Artisan on a regular club night. They do have one. I'm sure that would be cool, man. You know, a lot of these buildings, they don't allow cameras in, but maybe they'll allow me in. Hi, just another tough day in the U.S. I don't know. I mean, our numbers dropped. Our numbers dropped tremendously. We had 526 new cases in a single day. I mean, that's great. It was 1,400 a few weeks ago, so we're dropping out here, it looks like, which is good. Where's the best seafood in Vegas? Well, I mean, in terms of what kind of seafood you're looking for, it really depends. There's a place at Caesars that has to change their menu on a daily basis because their food is so fresh. Can't recall the name, but it's the only seafood place in the Forum Shops at Caesars. Right now, your best bet is probably off the Strip, but not a lot of there's good seafood. I can't remember the names of the seafood places. Let's be honest here. We're not paying market price, which is a massive markup when the wife cooks her own and she enjoys doing it. So I don't have a good answer on seafood in Vegas. People like Hot and Juicy Crawfish, however. That's a place that serves different seafood fare. Steve, what email address should I use to contact you about masks that I ordered? Use stevenj at notleavinglasvegas.com. stevenj at notleavinglasvegas.com. You can get me there. Best seafood is at Filipino markets. Seafood City is a great place. There's a few of them throughout the valley. And if you're over there in that area, you can go check out local Las Vegas. It's not too far off the Strip, actually. So China is rumored to buy 5 casinos. Rumored by whom? I've never heard that before. China's not buying 5 casinos because the casino companies are all conglomerated now. You have Eldorado Caesars, you have Wynn, you have Las Vegas Sands, and you have MGM Resorts International. Unless they're buying properties off the Strip, I don't imagine that those properties are going to sell out and break up their monopoly that they have. I'm buffering a bit. Yeah, I'm actually okay in my chat up here, so I don't see it, but I've fixed the problems, hopefully. Denny's is on the Strip, yes. Let's see here. Dirty Rotten Seafood Shack. Never heard of that place. If that is a real place, I don't know if I want to stay there. Joe's Stone Crab over at Caesar's Palace is a nice place. They come out of Miami, but they have their location on the 4th level of Caesar's, and I don't know that they're open in the Forum Shops. When are you walking the Strip next? That'll be on the weekend. I'll be walking the Strip on the weekend. I was going to try maybe tomorrow. I got to bring the car back in, and I might still do it, but if it's going to be super hot, my camera will shut down unless I'm out there after dark. Every cell phone tends to shut down. That's why me and the other bloggers either do it earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon. Do I shop at Costco? No, I have a Sam's Club card. Costco is kind of far away from us, so I got Sam's Club, and now that's far away from us, and I never use it. What did Con I Am say that was so very bad? Because he's usually pretty cool. If Democrats win, we will be sold to China. I don't want moderators getting rid of people's political opinions. I just don't want violent or hateful political opinions. So Con I Am says if Democrats win, we'd be sold to China. Who knows, man? I have no idea how that goes. Man, the powers that be just keep getting richer and richer on both sides of the fence, don't they? Oyster Bar at the South Point. Best seafood I've ever had in Vegas. We also went to Big Al's. Big Al's Oyster Bar is over at the Orleans, but that's a little off the Strip, come to think of it. There's Oyster Bay at the Planet Hollywood. My wife did not like the oysters there. I don't eat shellfish. She is a connoisseur. She said it wasn't watery enough. Part of the oysters is drinking everything up, and she didn't have any of that. Have you ever been to Zach Baggins' Ghost Adventure Haunted House? Is it bogus or pretty cool? People seem to like it. It's been in business for a long time. I've never been to a haunted house in Las Vegas. You need a mini umbrella for your camera phone. That would be a cool idea. It still doesn't beat the heat. Steven, you may be too young for this. Ever visited the Stardust? Of course, I was actually at the Stardust when they closed the Stardust. It was in November of 2006 or something like that. I remember it couldn't have been 2006 because I started working in the timeshare business in 2007. But I remember being out there. I was out there. It was November 1st, 2006. Actually, yeah. So there you go. No, so I must have been working in timeshare in 2006, come to think of it. That makes sense. Yeah, it was November of 2006. I got the month right and the year wrong. I got it right. And I got a bunch of stuff, and we threw that stuff out. And oh my God, I wish I never threw that stuff out. We had all sorts of Stardust things. We had Stardust water bottles, the old-fashioned ones from the 90s you'd put in your bike holder and stuff like that. And I remember the Stardust. I used to go in there all the time. When I'd work time on Sundays before the game started, we'd go in, and the sports book would be having, the games would start, and we'd leave. Right there, we bought I got a lot of food at the Stardust in my life. Wayne Newton was a headliner at the Stardust. Wayne Newton was a headliner everywhere. He was recently at Bally's, actually. Zach Baggins Museum. I keep thinking of Zach Brannigan, which is a fictional character off of Futurama. Every time I see Zach Baggins. Here in Ontario, the entire province, 33 total cases. I live in London. No C-19 deaths for 2 months. For 2 daily cases, still mandating masks, people scared, paranoid. Lots of places are closed. And here in Nevada, we have 500 cases in a single day, and people are going about their daily business. It's very interesting to see the dichotomy of the two different countries, right? You have super closed, super cautious. Canadians are generally more pragmatic and very much very ABCD organized mind, which is great for that. But Americans are very much, hey, we're doing this. This is our thing. We have freedom. And that's a good thing too. Is the Luxor open? Somebody asked. Yes, it's open. Absolutely it is. Oyo bought the Hooters. Yeah, they put their brand name on the hotel, and now they're closed. Go figure. Wayne Newton is stealing now. Wayne Newton is stealing now? Wait, hold on. Wayne Newton theft. I don't think he's stealing now. That would be horrible if he was. A Nevada prison inmate was found guilty of burglarizing his house. Well, I don't think about that. I can't find anything on Wayne Newton theft. Maybe that's just a rumor that we won't talk about. We don't want to get Wayne Newton in trouble and get sued by Wayne Newton. He needs the money, and I don't got any, so it'd be a useless lawsuit. Wayne Newton is currently at Caesars. Saw him in December. Oh, so I guess he's got a deal with Caesars Entertainment. But nobody is performing at Caesars now. So there you go, guys, and we have been on our stream for a while, and I am buffering a little bit, I see, but that's okay. So there you go, going on midnight, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out of here too, Rick Hopper, and I want to thank you guys. Let's thank everybody for being awesome. All of my chatters, all my lurkers, all these people in this list also. We have level 1 chatters and lurkers, level 2 moderators, level 3 Earl from Florida, Donna Masadi, Robert Jimenez, Martin D, Dave Beatty, Susan Zalisco, Yumiko DeBold, Brent Tren, Paul T, Yumiko DeBold again, Carmen Petrin, Susan again, Rick Hopper, John Rogers, John Ness, Knights Landing Tonight, and Martin D. And you guys are all awesome, and thank you. And all of our level 4s are our Patreons, and I will update those credits in a day or two and get it done. We will talk more about Vegas on this channel as we go along, and I appreciate you guys being awesome with me. And yeah, do something great for somebody. You don't have to tell anybody you did it. You just have to do something nice for somebody. If you're at the store and some homeless guy's trying to buy a lighter, buy the lighter for him. You have the money for it. If you're at the store and some homeless guy's trying to buy a bottle of water, buy the bottle of water for the guy. That's the mission. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go to a store, and if I see a person that I can help out, I'm just going to make their purchase for them. That's a good idea. Maybe we should all do that. And if the whole world did that, everybody would be a little bit better off. All right, like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell for future notifications. Share this video somewhere. I got to say 3, 2, 1, click. If you guys want to support the channel, there's vegasfacemask.com. Share the website. I have to make a Facebook page. I haven't even done so yet. I'm going to make one soon. But vegasfacemask.com, no S on the end. The wife makes them. Terry M. Oh, my God, you came in last minute. You are amazing. Thank you, Terry M. You have a really cool avatar, if I might say, and I will have a good night. And you guys are great. Water, good, letter, bad. Con, I am. Who am I to judge if somebody has a habit? I know I have plenty of habits. You have them too. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that we're all wrong in our own right. Oh, wow. There you go. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down. All wrong, own right. I own that. You guys can't use that. No, you can use it. We're all wrong in our own right, aren't we? All right, guys. We have to go. Thank you so much. 3, 2, 1, and click.